at Miller Ranch.
Night falls deep over the Florida Everglades. The swamp lies silent. Only the rhythmic croak of frogs and the distant hum of generators break the stillness. In the middle of this endless wetland, a concrete structure glows faint blue beneath the mist. Biogen Research Facility. Inside, rows of monitors pulse with green light, recording something that was never meant to exist outside this room. Dr. Alan Reeves, a biogeneticist in his 40s, leans over a glass containment chamber. Inside, a young Burmese python rests under a soft beam of light. His voice is calm, clinical, yet proud, as he speaks into his recorder. Experiment log 72. Subject appears stable. Muscle regeneration rate exceeds expectations. We might be on the verge of a breakthrough. He looks at the creature like a father studying his child, fascinated, hopeful, unaware that tonight his discovery will turn into a nightmare. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you are watching from, and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. A red security light flickers in the hallway. Reeves glances up, frowning. Strange. System's never glitched before. He types a command on the terminal. Nothing. Suddenly, the sound of heavy boots echoes from behind the sealed door. The lock beeps, then unlocks with a hiss. A man in black tactical gear steps inside, face hidden behind a respirator mask. Reeves freezes. Who are you? This is a restricted area. The man doesn't answer. Instead, he moves toward the control console, his gloved hand brushing against the glowing red lever labeled Gene Evolution Sequence. Reeves lunges forward to stop him, but the intruder swings a steel rod. A sharp crack echoes as the doctor collapses to the floor. The man mutters something. Data. Must retrieve the core, and reaches for the chamber interface. His finger hovers over the switch. Then as alarms start blaring, he panics. He presses down. Instantly, the lab is drenched in crimson light. Monitors flash a warning. Gene sequence override. Level 5 activated. Inside the glass chamber, the small python jolts awake. Its body convulses violently, twisting as if pulled by invisible forces. The skin darkens, first gray, then ink black. Scales crack open like dried earth. A pulse of blue light runs beneath its flesh, veins glowing through translucent layers. The intruder stumbles back, horrified. What the hell is this? He whispers. The python's eyes snap open, bright red, unblinking, intelligent. A deep, wet growl fills the room, too resonant to belong to a normal reptile. The glass chamber begins to fracture, thin lines spreading like spider webs across its surface. Reeves groans, half-conscious on the floor. He sees the control panel sparking and the creature thrashing inside. No, stop it. It's not ready. His hand reaches toward the emergency override button, but it's too late. The chamber explodes. Shards of glass and metal fly across the room. Alarms blare louder than ever. In the chaos, smoke fills the lab, swallowing everything in a haze of orange and blue light. Through the broken wall, a massive shape moves. Slowly, silently. A shadow slithers across the floor, coiling around fallen equipment, crushing metal with ease. It is no longer a python. It is something far beyond nature's design. Reeves lies still, his eyes wide in shock as the mutated creature rises to its full height, thick as a tree trunk, scales glimmering like obsidian. The overhead lights flicker, reflecting in the beast's blood-red eyes. For a brief moment, the world seems to stop. Only the sound of dripping liquid and static remains. Then crash! The steel doors burst open. The creature surges through the hallway, leaving deep gouges in the floor. Sparks rain down as it smashes through security barriers and vanishes into the dark swamp beyond. Inside the wrecked lab, the lone security monitor still glows. Its feed shows the swamp from an external camera, ripples spreading across the black water as if the earth itself were breathing. The words flashing on screen read, "Subject escaped, unknown life form." And somewhere in the distance, a bull bellows, its voice echoing through the night. The Everglades tremble under a sudden gust of wind. The swamp reflects streaks of red light as the Biogen lab alarms howl into the night. Inside, the once contained experiment has turned catastrophic. The creature moves, larger, heavier, dripping black liquid from its mouth. The air smells metallic, burned. Dr. Reeves crawls to his knees, coughing through the haze. His eyes widen in disbelief. The python, his test subject, has grown nearly 10 times its size in minutes. The mutation sequence has gone beyond control, cells replicating without limit. He grabs a nearby recorder with trembling hands. Subject no longer recognizable. Muscle density increasing. Oh God, it's learning. Before he can finish, the serpent's tail slams into a console. Sparks shower. The creature rises, head brushing the ceiling, red eyes locking onto movement. Then, with a sound like cracking stone, it bursts through the steel wall and disappears into the swamp. Outside, night creatures scatter. The swamp birds take off in panic. A ripple spreads across the dark water as the python glides beneath the surface. Moving toward the faint lights of civilization, miles away, the masked intruder runs through the reeds, clutching a stolen flash drive. He hears the swamp roar behind him. One long, earth-shaking hiss. He turns. The water behind him explodes upward. The camera cuts to black as a scream echoes through the night. Morning arrives, calm and golden over Homestead, Florida. At a small dairy farm, Tom Weller, a third-generation rancher, sips coffee on his porch. The peaceful sound of cattle bells mixes with the soft crash of waves in the distance. Then, something shifts. The cows stop grazing. Their ears twitch. A deep vibration moves through the ground. Tom frowns, stands, and squints toward the tree line. Birds burst into the sky. Then from the shadows, movement. The trees bend. The fence collapses. A massive black serpent surges forward like a living avalanche. Mud and water explode as it strikes, wrapping around a full-grown bull, lifting it off the ground. The bull bellows, hooves kicking, ribs cracking. Tom screams, "Jesus Christ!" He grabs a flare gun and fires it into the air, red smoke twisting in the morning light. The rest of the herd charges, desperate to protect their own. But the python is too strong. Its tail swings with brutal force, knocking the animals back like toys. The camera cuts between chaos, splintered fences, flying mud, terrified eyes. The bull's bellows fade to silence. The creature releases the lifeless body and slithers toward the others. Tom runs for his truck, shaking, radioing in. "This is Farm 7, South Everglades. There's something out here. It's killing the herd." He looks back one last time. The python turns its head toward him, its red eyes locking onto his movement. Then it dives back into the swamp, vanishing as quickly as it came. Only silence remains. An hour later, rescue trucks and sheriff deputies flood the farm. Reporters swarm, snapping photos of massive crushed fence posts and enormous scale imprints in the mud. Agent Sarah Voss, from the U.S. Wildlife Rescue Division, kneels beside one of the tracks, each larger than a car tire. "It's not a normal python," she mutters. The pressure imprint suggests a body mass over 2 tons. Tom, still trembling, tells her everything. It wasn't natural. Its skin was black like oil. It didn't move like an animal. It hunted. Sarah exchanges looks with her partner, Lieutenant Marcus Shaw. They've heard wild stories before, escaped exotics, lab rumors, but nothing like this. They review drone footage captured by local police. A blurry shape moving under the water, faster than any known reptile. Sarah whispers, "If it heads toward town, we'll have a disaster on our hands." Marcus radios the command center, "Get Biogen Labs on the line. We might be dealing with their creature." The shot widens. Dozens of cows lie still across the pasture. A child's toy floats in a puddle nearby, covered in mud. The wind carries the faint hum of insects, replacing the morning peace with quiet dread. Back at the temporary command post, portable screens glow with infrared maps of the swamp. Drones scan for movement. Dr. Reeves, injured but alive, has been airlifted from the destroyed lab. He now sits in the rescue tent, pale but alert. "Sarah, Doctor, you need to tell us exactly what you created." Reeves, "It wasn't meant to be a weapon. It was a regenerative DNA project supposed to heal damaged tissue." But the reaction was exponential. She stares at him in disbelief. "You gave a predator the ability to evolve beyond control?" Reeves lowers his head. "I gave it the ability to adapt. That's worse." Outside, technicians assemble a glowing blue containment net, thick cords humming with ionized electricity. Marcus explains to the team, "This thing can sense vibrations. We'll lure it with livestock bait. Once it's close enough, we trigger the grid." A helicopter passes overhead, scanning the swamp below. On the monitor, a thermal image flickers. Something enormous moves beneath the surface, its body temperature fluctuating unnaturally. Reeves whispers, "It's absorbing energy." Sarah grips her headset. "Then let's make sure it chokes on ours." Night descends again over the Everglades. Fog coils above the dark water. Searchlights sweep slowly as the rescue boats glide forward. Engines barely humming. Sarah leads the operation from the front vessel. Her eyes stay fixed on the sonar display. Static, then a pulse. Something massive beneath them. Marcus, over radio. "Team B ready. Movement 200 feet east." Suddenly, the water erupts. The creature bursts upward, striking a boat and sending 2 agents flying. "B,